guys, it's Marie. Thank you so much for tuning in to Modern Day Vet, where we fill in the gap between active duty to the civilian sector. So we're going to talk about the educational benefits between active duty and veterans today. So keep in mind, when you're active duty, you have the TA, which is the Tuition Assistance Program. Now that program, there's new rules now. I'm not quite sure what the new rules are, but if I'm not mistaken, you have to wait 2 years before you could actually use your tuition assistance, which is a little ridiculous. So what you can do instead of that, it's completely up to you of what your goals are in your future, but you do qualify for the post 9/11 GI Bill. And with the post 9/11 GI Bill, you need to be on active duty for at least 90 days. After 90 days, you don't need to ask your chain of command for permission. You could literally call the VA and speak to them and let them know that you want to use your post 9/11. Now, with the post 9/11 as active duty, you will not receive BAH. You will just receive the money for the school, and the money will go directly to the school. You might get a book stipend. As active duty, I know as a civilian, you will get a book stipend. You will get E5 dependent BAH for the zip code of your school. And obviously the money will go to the school to pay for the program. So keep in mind, this podcast is going to be directly towards more the enlisted side and not the active duty side and not the reserve side. I'm not too familiar with the reserve side. Hopefully by the time this podcast comes out, I might have 1 or 2 YouTube videos specifically dedicated for the reserve units on how the Montgomery GI Bill might work or the post 9/11 bill might work. So look out for that. We'll see. I'll post some stuff just to kind of get a feel on if anybody wants any information on the reserve side of the Montgomery GI Bill. Okay, so as you serve active duty, don't be afraid to use your GI Bill. I know that your TA benefits, I think you could take 3 or 4 classes for the whole entire year before your credits are used up. And then obviously if you're trying to do an associate's program or if you have a timeline for your bachelor's degree, it's not reasonable. It's not possible to finish your degree in a specific time, especially if you're shore duty and you have a C duty coming up. You're not going to really have much time to go to school. So let's say you have shore duty for 3 years and you want to go to school. You want to try to get your bachelor's degree out the way because you have a lot of downtime. Do not be afraid to use your GI Bill. That's what it's there for. I know a lot of people want to say, hey, I want to pass it down to my spouse or my children. If you have a specific disability rating, if you can get 100% disability rating, they will go to school for free. So, and then also depending on your state benefits, and I'm also going to try to make a video about that as well. Each state has specific benefits. Texas obviously is number 1. I want to say Florida is probably number 2. And then it kind of goes down on the list of Virginia. California is pretty military friendly as well. There's a lot of grants. Women, vets have grants on their own. If you have any disabilities, that's specific grants. If you're going to do specific programs, that's a whole nother level of grants that you're going to have as well. All right, so we're going to discuss a few other topics. If I'm looking down, it's because I have a shit ton of fucking notes. It's a lot of information. I'm not perfect, and I want to give out the proper information for you guys. So if you have any comments, just keep them to your fucking self. Okay, so I'm just going to read off. I took a lot of notes. I worked really hard this week on this stuff, and I would like to be all professional and weather lady and look at the camera, but can't fucking do it because my memory sucks. So we discussed the GI Bill, which is, so there's 2 GI Bills. There's the Montgomery GI Bill, which came out way before the post 9/11. The year, I'm not quite sure, but I'll probably put a post about it of when it came out. Post 9/11 obviously is after September 11, 2001. So it didn't come into effect till 2008. So between that time, I'm pretty sure, I think it was like 2008 to 2014. Don't quote me. You could switch. So you could go between the Montgomery GI Bill and the post 9/11 GI Bill. With the Montgomery GI Bill, which if I'm not mistaken, I think it's chapter 35. Let me double check. Chapter 30. All right. So with the Montgomery GI Bill, you had to serve 2 years. You weren't going to receive BAH, and the money was paid to you. However, you had to be responsible enough to pay it to the school, or else you're just not fucking going to school. However, with the post 9/11 bill, it qualifies for so much more things. Obviously, if you served after a period in time, I want to say after 2016, you don't even have the option for the Montgomery GI Bill. You only have the post 9/11 bill, which is the better one, in fact. If you did have the option for the Montgomery GI Bill and you paid for it while you were in boot camp, once you have used all your credits for your post 9/11 bill, that's when they'll give you your $1,200 back. Because I called the VA today and I was like, hey, I'm kind of broke. Can I have my $1,200 back? That's not the way it works. When you finish your GI Bill, all your credits, which is the 36 hours or 36 months that you use, that's when they'll give you your $1,200 back. So with the Montgomery GI Bill, you have to use it within 10 years. So anyone that got out of the military prior to 9/11, you only have the GI Bill. But keep in mind, you also have grants. You have the Fry Scholarship. You have your state benefits as well. And if you have any type of disability rating, that helps out a lot with school as well. And community college isn't too expensive. You could take a look at that as well. All right, so let's read off. Post 9/11 GI Bill, Chapter 33. After 90 days of service, its benefits is 36 months. Anything that, so if you got out before 2013, there's kind of an expiration for stuff. So the Montgomery GI Bill, you need to use it within 10 years. And once again, 2013, your post 9/11 bill, you need to use it within 15 years. However, if you got out after 2014, there is no expiration. So you can go to school for a few months now. If you decide you don't want to go to school for the next 10 years, you could do that as well. Let's say you retire, you're bored, you're broke. You could go to school. They will give you E5 BAH with dependents for the zip code of not where you're living at, but the zip code of your school. Now, if you go to school physically, that's when you'll get the full dependents BAH. If you're going to school online, you're only going to get half of that, which I think is about $800 or maybe a little less. You also get $1,000 for a book stipend. Other things that qualify for the post 9/11 is on-the-job training, apprenticeship. So with an apprenticeship, depending on your, let's say your rank or whatever, I'll use myself as an example. So when I first got out, and this will happen to a lot of people, you will experiment with different things. You just don't know what you want to do. You're just free. So you're just running fucking rampant. You're feral. You're just acting crazy. So I decided I was going to be a fucking carpenter. Don't judge me. I thought I was going to be doing pretty shit, and that was not the fucking case. So I went to a trade school to do carpentry, and the recruiter there, he was Rico Suave. He was really smooth with all the benefits you get. It's an amazing thing to join. So I joined the Carpenters Union. I can't speak today. I joined the Carpenters Union. And with that apprenticeship, once again, keep in mind every state is different, but the post 9/11 does pay for apprenticeships. So with that one, it's levels. So it's like journeyman. I don't know. You're just picking up shit. I don't know what the fuck the levels are, but it's a few levels before you even become to a level of respectable. Let's put it that way. So my weekly paychecks were like $500. But then you also get BAH as if you were going to school. So depending on the hours you work, which should be full-time, you're pretty much making the apprenticeship money, which is like $400 or $500. It's horrible. So I don't know how like people that don't have the post 9/11 could even do it. But you make about $500 weekly. You get treated like shit. And you also get you get a sign off saying, hey, I worked this amount of hours this week, and your supervisor has to sign it. And then after they sign it, you submit it to the VA, or the school submits it to the VA, and the VA gives you your BAH as well. So you kind of like level out that you're making pretty much the same amount of money as the supervisors in the union. So that just wasn't adding up for me. Like after 13 years, I was only going to make $1,000 and my back was already hurting. That wasn't going to work for me. So I got out the carpenters union after I cursed out a few people because we just weren't getting along. Let's put it that way. I did not go back to school. I started doing other stuff. But long story short, apprenticeships are paid for, and you could do other apprenticeships like something that's more specific in your field, like the medical field or the tech field or secretary field, stuff like that. They will pay for that as well. And those kind of stuff are not included in your Montgomery GI Bill. Keep that in mind. It's only the post 9/11 bill that pays for licensings and certifications, national testings. When you decide to take a license and certification test, you need to pay for the test upfront first. After you pay for the test and you submit the receipt to the VA, that's when they will reimburse you. Until then, if you don't have proof, they're not going to give you any money. Let's discuss vet tech. It was very popular on my Facebook post and you guys were harassing me for more information. However, this episode probably won't come out till like January, February. All right, so these are the requirements for you to qualify for the vet tech program. Also, the vet tech program is a 5-year pilot program so far. So I don't know. I think it was like $5 million that they dedicated to it. And the fiscal year doesn't start like the civilian New Year starts. The fiscal year starts October 1st, which you guys should already know that shit. But it starts October 1st, so obviously that's when the money gets funded in. Now, the vet tech program is very popular right now. I don't know who the fuck is putting all the word out about the program. I don't know why everybody wants to go into the tech field, but it is a waiting list. So every October 1st, they get funded completely away from the GI Bill. So you only need to have 1 day on your post 9/11 GI Bill. As long as you have that, you're eligible for the vet tech program. However, you also need to be accepted into a program. So the va.gov has a website. When this comes out, I'll try to put the link on the bottom. And it has a list of schools that are approved, which is maybe like 15. You can go physically or you can go online. Now with that list, you have to call them. You have to take a comprehension exam and see what your grade is. And then they'll see if they have space for you. But I called a few schools just to have information and they all already had a waiting list. And that was they might be done. I know last year they were done with their funding, which was a few $1 million. They were done with their funding within 6 months. So this year it seems like they're going to be done with their funding by March, probably all over again. But if you are lucky, if you're separating from active duty within 180 days, you can sign up for vet tech, which is even better because you could do it while you're active duty. Now, of course, you won't receive BH, but you're still receiving your check from active duty. Obviously, you need to have honorable discharge. Okay, so pretty much if you're active duty, the discharge doesn't matter because you're active duty. However, once you get out, you need to have honorable discharge in order to qualify for this program. That's one of the requirements. You obviously need to have 1 day left on your GI Bill, which is nothing. And once again, you need to be approved from a VA training provider, and the va.gov has the list for that. Now, as you're in and getting out, va.gov should pretty much be your Google for everything. It literally discusses the current news, the stuff that's going on, all the benefits, literally all the benefits you qualify for. And don't be afraid to give them a call. It's not like they're going to be like, oh, this girl calls every day. Call every fucking day. It's your career. Call every day, ask questions, and get familiar with the process of getting out or staying in. You could stay in as well. You could do whatever the fuck you want. So what type of programs does the vet tech cover? It covers computer software, computer programming, data processing, information science, and media applications, which I think was they had UX design. They had a good amount of stuff. Galvanize, I think was part of, I don't know if it's out of Florida or something, but they had the whole boot camp for literally all the stuff you needed for programming, which was pretty awesome. It was a few months long. So if you are doing it as a civilian, you will get money for housing. However, if you're active duty, you will not receive VAH. And once again, if you go on va.gov, it will give you the current rates. I don't want to give you guys rates because they literally change annually. And then as the new year comes, for January 1st, the percentage should go up a few, I think it's like 3% or something like that. I'm not sure. VRE. Let's talk about the VRE services, also known as vocational rehab. So that is something that you can get for 48 months, but you need a minimum of 10% disability. So you can't get VRE right off the bat. However, if you have 10% disability, does not touch your GI Bill. So VRE is completely separate on the side, and it helps with what you want to do. So let's say you're like, I like doing this stuff, and when I get out, I don't want to be a clusterfuck and have 20 different jobs. They will literally do like skill testing on you and see what you like, what you don't like. I don't know what the fuck the test is called. I think it's like the Murphy test or whatever the fuck the test is called. They see what your passion is, and then they try to correlate with the stuff that you like to do, and they try to put you in a career that you want to be in. So if you don't want to be in the desk. If you don't want to be working at a desk, they will definitely find jobs for you out in the field that you could work on a base. If you're not near a base, you could have like a government job. You could do supply. You can do like property management on the bases, which a lot of people said they liked. But that just depends on what they have for you and what area you're in as well, of course. So it says a complete evaluation to determine your abilities, skills, and interests for employment. So they also help you with employment positioning as well. And I want to say that's like lifetime if you do get accepted into the program. So they'll help you with your resume. They'll help you with employment. They'll also help you with a non-paying internship if you wanted to do that as well, just to have time saying, hey, I have experience working in this field in whatever amount of time, like 12 months or something like that. So yeah, they have on-the-job training, apprenticeships, and non-paid work experiences. So we covered on-the-job training, apprenticeships. Most of the stuff is under the 9/11 GI Bill. To be honest, much people aren't even using the Montgomery GI, even the ones that are eligible to use it. Obviously, if you're not eligible to use the post 9/11, then you can't use it. So I'll probably do a video about that, but it's anybody that got out before 2001. Ones that I would like to discuss, but I'm going to discuss in a future episode anyway, is Veteran Services Organization. They help as well with finding grants and providing you money with going to school. And PVA, which is Paralyzed Veterans of America, they also have a shit ton of funding stuff as well. And that's going to be a whole nother episode of that specifically as well. They also have, I think I already said that, but they also have resume development, job seeking skills coaching. So if I'm not mistaken, they help you do the interview processes. They do training for that as well. And most community colleges, they do have like a veteran section where they assist you on things as well. So if you are, let's say you're stationed in San Diego, which is one of the bigger ones, you can go to the San Diego Community College as well. Like, don't wait for your chain of command to like nudge you and say, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? Like, do shit on your fucking own. Go to the community college, see what they have to say, see what benefits or what programs they have available for that year. Every single year, new things come out. So you could look at the NAV admins that are coming out for any new budgets and goals and funding that they have for things. VA.gov, like I said, is your Bible, whether you're in or out, to be honest. They have active duty news on there as well. So I would look at that. I would try to really keep in tune with the times and don't just don't wait for you to do like your morning musters to see what the news is. Kind of just like take your career on your own. Like, don't babysit yourself. Like, do stuff on your own. I know it's easy to kind of fall into the trend of I'm being told what to do. We got to be here at a certain time. So I'm kind of not really in the space to take things on my own. But take advantage of the resources you have while you're in. And there's a lot of amazing resources as well while you're out. So keep that in mind. The resources never end, but you do have to look for them. They're not going to be given to you. So while you're in, they'll be given to you. However, no one's going to hold your hand while you're out. So take the time to go to the Fleet and Family Support Center. If that one is closed, go to a different base that's nearby. Go to Miramar, whatever base is nearby, just go to different bases and see what classes they're offering. If you're about to transition out and your chain of command, I think you could only take the TAPS transition assistance program. I don't know. It changes every year, but within a year or something like that. If you go on va.gov, they actually have a program for the transition assistance program online that you could take on your own. Will it qualify for the one that you need to take in person? No, but you will have the information and it won't be information overload that week that you have to do it. And at least you could take notes of things that pertain to you, which is very important. So Fleet and Family, that's your main hub because it'll be on every base for the most part. va.gov is your Bible. It'll give you news, it'll give you the benefits, and pretty much on the homepage, it will talk about like what is available or what's the new thing right now. And then just look in the search bar. What do you want to look up? I want to do a medical program. I want to see what grants are available right now. All that stuff is available to you. You just need to look for it. And also apply for your damn disability. Like, I know people are really big on looking at you sideways because you're going to medical as active duty. Fuck them. Health is wealth, and take care of your fucking health. So if you have a headache or you have a backache or you just don't feel well, go to fucking medical. Medical is priority. And I'll be damned if somebody says, oh, well, you can go to medical later. No. Health is wealth. I know the mission comes first, but if you can't fucking see, you can't do the mission. So go to medical and make sure you take care of yourself first. Oh, before I forget, I didn't take all my notes because I was like freaking the fuck out because I didn't want to look back and forth from the computer to the camera because I wanted to be Sally Sue Weather Lady. But, oh, fucking well. I got to look at my notes. Entrepreneurship training as well. I know that's like the little popular go-to thing right now. Like everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Well, they actually have training for that. So I think the VA mixed with the, Small Business Owners Association, I think it's called. And there's actually programs that you could take for free. I know on base they do boots to business, but you could actually go to a small business association office near wherever you live. And they actually offer classes on like how to file taxes, how to do the correct paperwork for LLCs. And I don't think they offer that on base. They might do boots to business and it'll be very, very brief. But all that stuff for someone that didn't serve, they have to pay for that shit. They have to pay for learning how to file for an LLC. Yes, you could do it for free and you could go on Google and you could find that stuff. But this is actually like official information that people are sitting you down and speaking to you on how to file this stuff for free, pretty much. So look into Small Business Association near you. So I don't know, I think it's sbda.something, and see what office is near you and call the office. They're actually more than like happy to help you. Because when I was trying to start my notary business, I had called the lady and she was extremely helpful. Like she followed up with me. She gave me an email of all the lawyers that were within like a 25-mile radius. Like they were super, super kind and polite. So take advantage of that as well. So let's just go off of a sidebar really quick and discuss why it's important for you to take your education, your mental health, your physical health into your own fucking hands. Because like I said, the mission comes first, and that's fine. That's okay. I understand that it is a bigger thing and there's stuff way bigger than us going on in the world. And we signed the dotted line. I'm pretty sure 99% of us didn't read the fucking contract and didn't know what the fuck we were signing. I didn't read the contract. So I understand that it is a job and the job needs to be done. However, you also need to take care of yourself. So when you go into work, do your job. I'm not saying be a fucking shitbag and don't work. However, it is important to take yourself into priority and always keep in mind, okay, like I had a lot of time on my hands and I'm actually mad about that. So I had a lot of time on my hands at my duty stations and we kind of just sit around, play on our phones and don't really do shit. We're just like, whatever, regardless, we're going to get paid on the 1st and the 15th. I don't give a fuck. Like I still have another 10 years, so I don't really need to stress what's going on. However, things can happen. A lot of things can happen. You can get into a car accident. And guess what? You're not fucking important anymore if you do get injured in that car accident. You may think you're important right now because you could run 1.5 miles in 2 minutes. That's me exaggerating. But if something happens, something can happen in a snap of a finger and you're not fucking important to the military no more. And then what? What are you supposed to do? So just keep in mind, if you're not feeling well, make sure you go to medical. And if you're not the type of person to go to medical because you're superior and you're strong and your pride gets in your way, Military OneSource, at least when I was in, trust but verify, because I don't know what the new update is. But when I was in, Military OneSource was amazing. And they do a really good job at helping you on the side without your chain of command or medical knowing. So I'm pretty sure they're still doing the same thing. But when I was in, Military OneSource will give you 10 free counselings to a civilian psychologist. 10 free counselings annually to a civilian psychologist. And it won't be in your medical record at all if that's what you're scared about, if you don't want people knowing your business or any of that. However, ask a copy for those records so you can at least have them on hand so you can add it to your medical record when you are ready to file for disability or your mentality is in a different aspect to, you know what, this is important to my medical record and I need to have this all filed and recorded. So Military OneSource is very important. Now, schooling. If you're in, especially if you were started at 18 years old, trust me, you don't know what it is to be an adult as a civilian. I thought I was grown. I thought I knew everything until I became a civilian. And then it's a culture shock. Like you get out, you're like, I fucking know everything. You don't know shit. Like, you know that you're being told what to do the whole time. But you don't know shit, trust me. Especially the people that joined at 18 and you're at 20 years and you're an adult, but you have not experienced a civilian sector at all. And it's a whole different ballgame. If you think the Navy doesn't give a fuck about you, civilians don't give a fuck if you did 25 years. They don't give 2 fucks. So it's important to build a solid foundation for yourself while you're in, or even if you're in and you're like, damn, I don't know what the fuck I want to do. That's why it's important to explore things now. You have all the resources there. You literally get everything for free in the military. Obviously, freedom isn't free as people think. But take advantage of your resources. If you are feeling down, it's okay to go to medical. It's okay to go to medical. It's okay to kind of see a psychologist and say, hey, I haven't been feeling the best and I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't understand how I'm feeling. I don't like how I'm feeling. Speak to people that you're close to. I will say my closest friends are from the military and I consider them family. Like, they got me through a lot of dark times and vice versa. I helped them through some dark times as well. That's why it's very important to stay close, even if it's 2 or 3 people. Stay close and appreciate those people and look out for them, especially it's the holidays right now. Suicide rate is at an all-time high. Take somebody in. If they're not going anywhere for Christmas, New Year's, like I said, the podcast will be out later, but the next year, Christmas, New Year's happens every fucking year. Look out for each other during the holidays. During a stressful time, if you guys are preparing for JCAHO or a specific inspection or a deployment, take care of each other, because I will say I miss the military. I miss the people. I take it back. I miss the people. Do I regret getting out? Fuck no. But I'm very grateful for the foundation I was given. Extremely grateful for the foundation I was given. Half of the people I've spoken to that are twice my age or at my age couldn't even imagine half of the stuff I've done. And they couldn't imagine themselves doing it. So I am extremely, extremely grateful for all the benefits and the experiences I was given in the military and the amazing people I've met. So don't think I'm doing this podcast to like down talk the military, because I'm not. But I want you guys to make sure you're taking care of yourself. That's the primary goal. You have to take care of yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And I know it sounds cliche and it's corny, which it is, but it's true. Like, if you literally just sit down and you're drained and you just can't, if you can't do it, what the fuck are you going to do? Your mind isn't there to fully do what you have to do. And I've had those moments of where I just don't give a fuck. Like, I don't want to do shit. And those moments where you need to kind of sit down, take a break and kind of write down your thoughts of like, hey, what's going on? Like, what do I need to get done? What do I want to accomplish? Is it time for me to get out the military? If it is time for me to get out the military, maybe I should start exploring my resources. What benefits are out there? Should I be trying to file my disability claim? Keep all that stuff in mind and just keep doing research. New things come out every single year. Just keep going. That's all I'll say. But thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this with someone that could really benefit from this information. Because I hate seeing junior sailors that just don't have the information. Please, please, please share with someone that could benefit from it.